Hello, beautiful people from across the lands. It is your girl, Tashana Nicole. Join me on my journey to financial independence by eliminating debt, creating multiple streams of income, and inspiring others to dream again. Hello, if you are new here, welcome back. If you are returning, I appreciate all the love, all the views, all the things. I am excited about today's video, and I'm going to be talking about the 5 things that you need to do before you start a side hustle. Oftentimes we get carried away and just jump right into things. We stress ourselves out. It's a new venture for us and things are just all over the place. So to avoid that and to make sure that you are living your best side hustle life, I want to share 5 important things that you need to know before you start. 1. How much money do you want to make? Now, this is important whether you're paying down debt or where you want to have some extra cash for some fun things that you want to do. You want to make sure that you have a number in mind. So as you're looking at side hustles, you can kind of wean out what makes sense to do and what doesn't, because you have an intentional number in mind to have with this extra money that you're trying to get. So I'll give you an example. As you all know, or if you don't know, if you're new here, I am on a debt-free journey. And that means I'm trying to get rid of a lot of things that has been giving me a lot of weight and pain in life. And so one of the things that I realized as I was crunching my numbers on my debt journey, my car note / personal loan, and I talk about how that happened in my very first video. I'll link it here so you can see the details on that very sad story. But I realized if I add an extra payment, an extra monthly payment, that it will narrow my payoff time in half. So instead of it being done, I think the time was like 9 months, it will cut it down to like 4 to 5 months if I add an extra monthly payment. So my minimum payment now is $276.16. Yes, I know it down to the cent. So I know if I bring in an extra $276.16 a month, I can cut this time of debt down in half. And that is really feasible for me to do with my Amazon side hustle. Hopefully, and soon with YouTube, I will be able to bring in that extra money specifically to help speed down that debt balance with that particular loan. So that's what I mean when you want to know how much money you want to make, because for whatever reason why you started a side hustle, there's a reason why you need that extra money, whether it be to do fun things or to pay down debt or to help out with the bills. You should know from the gate how much money you need to make so you don't be wasting your time out here with other side hustles. That doesn't make sense to do. That leaves me with number 2, research the side hustle. I cannot tell y'all how many side hustles that was not worth my time due to me not doing thorough research. So you want to make sure that you're not wasting your time into side hustles that really don't equate to money that makes sense for you to have in regards to the amount of time that you're putting into it. Now, I do have a different stance on this when it comes to like YouTube and content creation, because I don't really see that as a side hustle. Oftentimes it is a business that you're building, and there's a lot of money that you're gonna have to put up front before you see a return, but we're gonna save that for another video. But let's just say if you're doing Uber Eats, Amazon Flex, Instacart, any of those things, you wanna make sure that the amount of research that you put into it to know, does this make sense or does this line up to what money that I want to make on the side? So be sure to do your research first. Check out the reviews on YouTube, Reddit, everywhere to know if it is actually worth your time and your investment to do that side hustle. Tip number 3. How much time can you commit to this side hustle? Now, you want to audit your time. I go into great detail in this video where I talk about balancing a side hustle and a full-time job. But just in conclusion, auditing your time is knowing how much time can you dedicate consistently to this side hustle to make sure that it's matching up to the number that you have in mind that you want to make. So whether it be the weekends or maybe late weekdays, what makes sense on your schedule to be able to fit this side hustle in, because you want to make sure you're doing all of your research up front before you go out there, because you want to set yourself up for success instead of just throwing yourself out there, not knowing how much money you want to make, not knowing when's the best time that works best for you on your schedule. So definitely audit your time. Tip number 4. What are your goals with this side hustle? Now, I kind of already touched on this a little bit throughout the video, whether you be on a debt-free journey or you just want some extra cash to have a little fun, or maybe you have a particular thing in mind that you want to buy and you just need some extra cash to help get you there quicker. definitely keep that in mind. And when you have a goal, it helps you get more clear, more specific, and more intentional with your actions to make sure that it becomes complete. So one of the bonus tip I want to add to this is that as you're adding this extra money, you want to make sure that you have a separate bank account so it doesn't get mixed into all of your personal and regular things, but it's simply isolated for the particular thing that you set for this goal to get this extra money for. And that is important because it helps give the money an assignment, especially if you're budgeting. We talked about this in my other videos. You do not want to suffer from what I like to call where did my money go syndrome, where the money is just being blended with everything. You're not being clear, you're not being very specific, and you've adding all this extra time to a side hustle, but you're not even seeing the fruits of your labor. And I've been there before, so you definitely don't want to do that. So we need to make sure that you get clear on your goals and set that money separate from your regular banking situation. Tip number 5, when do you want to get started? One thing that I am not about on these YouTube streets is setting goals and not putting action behind them. It's so important as you're doing the research, watching the videos, doing all of your notes, all of those things, that you take into consideration, okay, when is my start date? When do I plan to get this side hustle on and cracking so I can get these extra dollars? So you want to make sure as you're looking at and you're auditing your time, what in your time frame or in your schedule make the most sense for you to get started. Mark the date, set a reminder, all of the things, so you know, okay, I've done the research, I set my account aside, I have my goal set, now it's game time. So you definitely want to get very clear on how soon you can start that side hustle. I hope you found today's video helpful. I highly encourage you to check out how to balance a side hustle in a full-time job as your girl is trekking along with you in this journey. And I have a lot of great information and tips in that video as well. So be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know, what side hustles have you been considering? What side hustles have you been researching on? Because your girl is always looking for creative ways to make more money, you know? So don't be stingy with the information. All right, until next time, be sure to dream, believe, and achieve.